Oh man. What up, y'all? What's going on? How you doing? Come on in. Have a seat. Welcome to the live stream. I am Sheddin and also wanting to share a little bit about these 4 components that foster growth. Alrighty. So, I'm going to make sure I have my chat pulled up so I can see you. And this is going to be a good little session where I'm going to just talk to you about some 4 different things that I find to be very, good words or things to think about pertaining to growth. All right. Okay. So I wish I had some water in here, but I don't. Okay, so let's get started, y'all. What's going on? This is Quamon Fowler, and welcome to my channel. And if you're on Facebook, welcome. If you're on YouTube, welcome. And periodically, I like to do live streams where I do some playing and sharing, what I call shedding and sharing. And I have been at it since 2007 or 8 when I've been posting videos and streaming and stuff on YouTube. And here it is 2023, still going at it. And I wanted to talk about 4 components that foster growth. Now, at first I was thinking, 4 components that foster growth for a musician, but really this is for everybody, a creative. Think about yourself as a creative person. Okay, so let's get started. I was in a talk with my class. I teach a music business class for Weatherford College, and we had a great semester this semester, the first year for me to teach that class, and it was really good. Had some great students. We went over some great topics that are definitely relevant to how we should facilitate going about a music business, dealing with the technology in this new day and age that we have. What's going on? I'm going to say what's up to my chat over here on YouTube. What's going on, Nicholas? How you doing? All right. Now, somebody asked a question, and I'm going to get to that question. And we'll definitely address that here in a second. But appreciate your question. And feel free, if you want to show some love, you can definitely do it. You can send a super chat through YouTube, or you can actually send a virtual tip. And that's at quamonfowler.com/pay. And if you enjoy this content, make sure you subscribe and hit the thumbs up and leave me a comment. All of that kind of stuff helps feed the algorithm or feed, get it out to others. So thank y'all so much for your support and watching the channel and stuff. Okay, so let's get into it. So I was talking about teaching the music business class. I can turn that off when I'm not playing because that's loud. Excuse me. Okay, so here it is. We got into some things, and over the course of the last few months or so, we've all been growing because we've heard new information, we've read new materials, we've listened to more podcasts or been suggested videos to watch, and I have different people in my circle who were always sharing motivational videos or things that are inspiring or things that are educational and challenge some of the normal operations that we might be used to. You know what I'm saying? So we're always kind of digging and searching for things that can challenge us and make us better as creators. All right. And so I thought about these 4 components, and they are value, quality, discipline, and freedom. Okay, value, quality, discipline, and freedom. So now, I'm gonna get to your question because it's gonna feed right into what I'm talking about. Okay, he was asking about how do you retain the language that you learn. Okay, I spend a lot of time learning language. That means transcribing, putting it through the keys, putting it all keys and applying it in practice settings. But when I get to the bandstand, I go blank. I do too. But I'm gonna talk about that. I'm gonna fit it in. Y'all are a part of this creative process. I'm really open to that. So I'm gonna address that. Okay. All right. So first of all, let's get this together. So one of the things that is very important to understand as creatives, we are created in the image of a creator. You know, God as our creator thought about something. He had an idea, and then from that idea, he spoke it, and his hand or the him speaking created it just like a hand. So he spoke the things into existence, but when it came to creating us, he created us by creating us in his own image and his likeness. So that's very important because this will speak to your question as well. So these ideas, right? So as a musician, just to bring it down, as a musician, we hear things. We're inspired by what we hear. We hear a certain quality of music. We hear a certain quality of language. We hear and see certain integrity in certain people and the way that they present what they have. And so that's value, right? You know, quality that we see, we equate to being valuable, right? And we know in order for a person to be at a certain quality, a certain level, it requires discipline. So all of those components are work hand in hand, like the value, quality, discipline, and freedom. So how and what does that look like? How do you implement studies or practices that'll help you get to the quality that you want? You know, how do you implement certain practices and your discipline to help you get to the freedom that you want? Okay, so here it is. Now, I started practicing drums here over the last few days. I've been inspired. And so The thing that is very interesting with that process is I've, of course, been playing the EWI since 2007, and it pretty much functions like a saxophone. I've been playing the saxophone for a long time, over 30 years. Okay, and so the thing about it, you apply principles. So when I started on the saxophone, and even when I got on the EWI, oh don't okay, there we go. So I would practice with a metronome, and what I would do, just so I could get used to the octave key rollers on the back, because I don't have octave key rollers on the saxophone. We just got a button that we hit once to go high. You know what I'm saying? But on the EWI, we have octave key rollers. So I had to use the principle of using a metronome and slowing it down and playing something over and over until I felt it felt natural, and where I didn't have to think about it. So what I used to do on the EWI is practice. I turned it off. So I used to practice scales and arpeggios and stuff like that, so that it can help me to be even. Now, that's playing chromatics, with this metronome at this particular tempo. And what I look for, or what I aim, that's like 160, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So what I aim for is good quality. All right. Now, quality, of course, later we'll talk about how that equates to value. But right now, quality is, in this instance, I'm talking about sound. I'm talking about timing. I'm talking about feel. You know what I'm saying? So I'm making sure my timing and my feel and everything is just right in the pocket, right? Because that's going to affect when I play in a band with real musicians. My feel is going to make them feel comfortable or uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? So you start by disciplining yourself to stay within the confines of certain parameters so that it can help you to produce the freedom later. Make sense? Now, these are principles. Like I said, this is not just music principles. These are principles that apply to everything. And so I used to practice on the saxophone like this, but when I got the EWI, I practiced with the metronome as well. And so the same thing happened when I started practicing drums. I was like, I can hear a lot of stuff rhythmically, but to get my limbs all four to be doing different things and doing certain combinations together, that's not something I can just go and run with. But if you actually slow it down, and if you can hear it and know what the pattern is, you can actually play. And one of these days I'll show you all here on the channel, like, my progress on drums. I did set up my set to where I have it mic'd, so I'll be able to do that. But I just don't have I got a headset, but I don't have it plugged up yet to be talking back there. But we're gonna get into some of that later. But so the thing about I was gonna show you, if you take what I just did, I was doing chromatics. And chromatics, I was moving by stepwise, half steps. But if I do whole steps, it's going to change my fingering pattern. Okay? So it's going from one pattern to the next because the interval got bigger. That's a scale, right? So now if I do whole tone, like whole notes, whole tones, whole steps, every, every note. Now, no matter what I switch to, I still have to keep it within the confines of those that 160 beat per minute. That's augmented, or you can say augmented, well, major thirds, Then I do fourths. Uh, those are fourths. So here's the deal. I worked on those things because those intervals like that, because on the back of here, once I go to the next octave, I have to move my thumb up, and I got to get used to that transition with something like the EWI. Now, the same thing applies to what I'm seeing now from practicing on drums. It's like I have to slow it down and put it on a grid so that my groove is slow and fits in the pocket. So right now, of course, I've been playing this a lot longer. My fingers can move a lot faster than my actual limbs, and I don't have no rudiments and stuff like that. So all that I got to work on, but I got to start slow with the metronome. But I was gonna say, a lot of times when you're practicing one thing, once you go to another instrument, you can apply the same principles that you used to applying discipline through in one area of focus, and you can transfer the same discipline to another. And so that's why it's important to realize that as a performer or a musician, you might not even see yourself as a teacher, but really you are, because you have to teach yourself. I had to teach myself, and I took note of my systems so that when I go to another area completely, I can apply my same principles. This can be true of learning another instrument and even growing in your business, because I talk about this in my book, The Christian Musician. I did include a link so that you can go and get it. If you haven't, you can get it on Amazon, and you can also get it on the audiobook, because I did the audiobook back in 2019. And the link is below in the description. And so, what I did, I talk about how when I started to watch or listen to different saxophone players, and I would identify characteristics that I liked about them. And of course, when I would transcribe, the things that I liked about their playing rubbed off on me. So it was a subconscious thing. It's like both conscious and subconscious. Subconscious. So what happens when we transcribe, there's a lot of different things that are going on at once. And so especially when you think about this is all brain food. We're engaging different aspects of the brain, like the audio cortex when we listen, the motor cortex when we actually move and do something physical, and then also the visual cortex. Even if we're not reading, we're still imagining something. And so all of those components help us to do what they call create new circuitry or neuroplasticity. Every time you learn something new, you actually create new neural connections in the brain, new wiring. And so from you practicing and disciplining yourself to do the same thing or do a routine or system every time you get and sit down at whatever instrument that you are practicing, or even career, if you're studying to be a lawyer, or if you're, even a personal trainer, fitness guy, if you're working out in the gym, it's certain rudimentary things that you have to do consistently over time for you to get to that quality that you are aiming for. All right, you're gonna see me throw these words in here: quality, value, discipline, and freedom. Okay, because what ends up happening from you disciplining yourself and following your principles and giving yourself a time, even if I'm talking about literally an hour or 30 minutes or, where you work on a certain thing, but also within that time, you actually can put your processing a certain thing within a certain BPM. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you're constantly challenging yourself to attain or to retain what you're doing so that you can move on to the next thing. I think a lot of people get stuck and they're not making progress because they don't really have a system together when they sit down to practice. Like all of this stuff is hardwired. It's hardwired inside of me. But the thing about it, it wasn't all. Well, let me say it like this: when you're inspired by sounds that you like, and I mean music or even inspirational words, they do something to your spirit. And this goes back to what I said about us being creative and created in God's image. We get inspired, then we want to create. We want to speak. We want to manifest something that we've imagined. And so if we're not able to communicate that well or to communicate through a certain instrument, then that means we have to put in the work and the discipline so that we can later have the freedom to be able to express ourselves the way we choose to. And so when you think about transcribing and learning licks and songs and putting things in different keys, those are all disciplines. That's like technical or conceptual things you're exercising. The cool thing about learning songs and learning solos, like all of the technical stuff is wrapped up in it. The breathing, the articulation, the timing, the tone, all of those components, the harmony, it's all wrapped up in learning the song. So learning a language, there's a difference between textbook, just learning how to speak another language from a textbook in the classroom, compared to living in a particular place where that's all they speaking, and you getting a chance to see the culture and understand visually and even see the body language and pick up the words as you're thrown in the water. You know what I'm saying? So you have to think about music, learning different language in music, or bebop language or jazz language. You got to think about that the same way. If you just immerse yourself in it, where you're hearing it, and you're learning it. Like I learned the bass, I'm saying not literally the bass. I'm saying I can play bass on here on the EWI, but I learned bass. I learned the keys. I learned the chords, harmony. I learned, of course, the melody. And then I'm even I pay attention to the rhythm and the groove. And I just haven't practiced that on the drums and haven't practiced much on the piano, but I've done enough to be able to get by and write with. But the whole point is, the more I observe the music that I want to learn and the music that I would like to sound or imitate, you know what I'm saying? The more it affects my taste, it affects my sound, my voice, and my quality is continually getting better. All right. And so here's the thing, because I said I was teaching a music business class, and we are coming to the end of it. But I was just talking about how even with our music, our voice and everything on the instrument, we have to also get our branding together. We have to get our message clear in terms of what our mission statement is. And then everything that we do, we need to have, it needs to be threaded through the things that we put out, you know what I'm saying, that we publish. And so ultimately, we got a purpose. We got a destination that we're trying to get to. And so you can't lose track of what you're really going after because you're distracted by all of the noise and, the news and, superficial stuff or just foolishness, on social media or whatever. So internally, you need to have a destination. It's like a navigation, right? We can look at a car pass by, but we don't know where they're going. But inside they know where they are. They know where they're going. They got the navigation going. That's what we do. We put in the destination of where we want to go. We won't get lost on the way to it because it's telling us turn by turn. So everybody has to have that for them when it comes to spiritually where they want to be, naturally where they want to be, business where they want to be, musically where you want to be. We have to have this stuff clearly defined. So just like the metronome, so that we know at this particular point in time, I need to have this together. Or I'm going to put the metronome on at 60, and I might not be able to play this groove at 100 right now. But if I start at 60, if I know the destination, I know what it's supposed to sound like, I can slow it down and play everything and gradually speed it up. I go from 60 to 65. I'll play it 5 times perfect, and then I'll go to 70. I'll play it 5 times perfect, then I'll go to 75. You know what I'm saying? You're incrementally increasing the speed of the metronome, and then you're constantly playing the same thing over and over, so it's getting more hardwired in you, so that you go through the 4 levels of competence. So I'm dropping a whole bunch of stuff on y'all this one. So you got unconscious incompetence. That's where you're not even aware of what you don't know how to do. Once you become aware of it, then you go to the second level, which is consciously incompetent. Now you know that you don't know how to do this. And if you keep practicing and working at it, then you'll go to the third level, which is consciously competent. At that point, you know what you're doing. You know how to execute this particular deal. Once you get to the 4th level, that's unconscious. Here you go. What's your name? Let me see. Let me go back over here. Here you go, Nicholas. Unconscious competence. This is unconscious competence. That means you don't have to think about it. You can just play, right? So call a tune. Somebody real quick. Call a tune, a jazz standard. Let me see if I can do it. You got to be quick, though. And I'm going to slow this down. You know what? I'm going to put it on my Drum Genius. This is like off the cuff. I like spontaneous stuff. All right. All right. Come on. Throw something out. Throw something at me. Throw something at me, y'all. Give me a tune. Because we're on the 4th level, which is unconscious competence, where you don't have to think about it. What's up? Come on, y'all. Throw me something out there. Get your chat. I see you, Clyde. I see you, Noel. Come on, somebody throw me something. Give me a tune. And then I'm gonna show you unconscious competence, where I don't really have to think about it. All right, cool. 4. Appreciate it, Sam. I'm sorry, Simon. Appreciate it. All right, so here it is. I'm gonna put it on like a swing feel that's actually medium slow, medium up. Let's see what medium up sounds like. All right, here we go. That's okay, I'll deal with that. And I'm not gonna play the melody because I don't want to mess up the stream with the copyright stuff. All right, I'm swinging, y'all. Now, all right. So with me doing all of that, do you think I was consciously really thinking about the changes? You know, I knew the changes. I was kinda, but yeah, the drum app is called Drum Genius. That's called Drum Genius. I love it. And but I wasn't. You know, here's another one, Misty. I don't have to think about it. Somebody say Misty. Look at this. That's a New Orleans feel. Oh, that's nice. I like that groove. I must have missed this. I don't really use that much. Put it up into a different key because I did 4 in E flat, so I did Misty in E. So, all right, so how did I do all of that? Of course, over the years, from playing language, playing different keys and stuff like that, I got language built up, so I don't really have to think about it. I had to think about, okay, the key. You know, I might have missed some of the changes, some on the bridge, but I don't know if I went to that because it's like did I mess that up? I think I was okay for the bridge because it just, it goes to the 5 to the 1, 5 to the 1 to the 4. Okay, 5, 1, 4, down. And then it goes do, da, 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 dee, da, dee, do, dee, da. So yeah, I had to get that transition right there. And sometimes it's good if you know the intervals of the movement of the changes. Then once you put in a different key, if you're not hearing it, you can think about those intervals to be able to do it. Y'all throwing these songs out here now. Yeah, I don't have time to go into all of those, but yeah, Drum Genius is the app. And somebody say I'm just going back up, but yeah, that's some of the stuff I wanted to talk about, like the discipline. You know, in order for you to have the freedom, discipline becomes is first. You know, because we're inspired by the things that we hold to be have good quality and value, and so we pay for the things that we value. And the more we up our quality, then the more we can charge for what we do when we present things. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you in this particular talk. I am going to make it a point to do this every week, do a live. And I am also going to be doing some mentoring. We have coming up, we did actually our first jazz workshop at Bandwagon last month with Mr. Quincy Phillips, and now drummer, world-class drummer and piano player, Grammy Award-winning drummer with Christian McBride. And I'll have some more stuff I'll share with you from that. I've put up some videos from us playing together and stuff on the channel, on my YouTube channel, but I'll have more to share. If you're interested to kind of follow the jazz workshop and the things that I'll be doing here locally, and I'll get to the point when we're able to facilitate it, we'll do a live stream situation for those people who are part of that community. and then you'll be able to watch that. I think what I'm going to do is make this a part of my Texas Tenor Academy. So once you become a member of the Texas Tenor Academy, then you'll be able to watch these master classes or the workshops that we do locally. If you don't, if you're not local, you know what I'm saying? Because our next one is going to be December 30th. No, I'm sorry, 29th. So at Bandwagon Music Store and Repair here in Fort Worth. And like I said, if you want to stay up to date with that information, text that number that I have listed in the description of this video. So that's 972-232-7185 and 972-232-7185. Text Jazz to that number and you'll be I'll be able to lock you in. Send me your name too so I can save it with the number. And so I'll text you when we're going to do the next event, and I'll give you that information. Also, I'll text you the link for Texas Tenor Academy so you can become a part of that. And once you're a part of the academy, I am going to give you access to the videos and the content. You'll already have access to all of my teaching material that I have up there on the website in the back office. The licks, I have lick bundles, I have master classes, EWI lessons, saxophone lessons, just in general jazz improvisation lessons. I have some stuff in there with Mr. Sean Thunder Wallace, Dr. Thunder, and we're just trying to give value. I'm trying to give you good quality stuff. That has been my goal here, and I'm going to continue. Like I say, I want to do live streams where I'm doing more teaching talks like this, and then let you know about the in-person events that we're going to be doing here locally in the area. And if you so choose to want to bring me into your city or into your school or whatever, just reach out to me. Just send me an email at info@QuamonFowler.com. That's info@QuamonFowler.com. And we can discuss whatever you're thinking about. Okay? So that's it for now. Thank y'all so much for hanging with me. And I hope this was a good session. Sorry I couldn't get to each one of these songs. But y'all make sure y'all stay tuned, because I'm going to be doing some more videos, and I'll do some videos on the drums as I share it when I get ready to share some of that. I've got your recording of Going Up Yonder. Oh yeah. He said you got it on repeat. Yeah, that's a bad one. I got to get those changes. I don't have those changes. It was like on a sheet of paper, Alan wrote them out, but I need to have that charted. Okay, Going Up Yonder is on my live and uncut. Yeah. All right then, y'all. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the thumbs up. And thank you for watching. Once again, if you want to support the channel, if I gave value to you, you can send me some love if you so choose to. QuamonFowler.com/pay. You can do Venmo, Cash App. What else is on there? PayPal, and all of those options if you so choose, or you can send a super chat right through YouTube. And if nothing else, that's it for now, and we will see you on the next one. All right, peace.